Hello, my name is Jacob, and you're watching my show about literature, and only literature. Today, I'm going to start the discussion of Kim by Rudyard Kipling by talking about my general impressions of the novel. Kim is a fantastic tale of adventure, spirituality, and personal discovery that I must say I thoroughly enjoyed reading. I've read a few of Kipling's children's works, which are excellent, but I never before had the opportunity to read one of his longer novels. After reading Kim, it becomes clear to me that Kipling's true talent is unleashed in the novel format, where he is free to release his rich and vibrant depictions of India upon the senses of the reader. Every page is brought to life by the wealth of personal experience and knowledge garnered by the author who spent a considerable amount of his life in India. I could feel the press of the crowds. I could smell the bazaars. I could feel every weary step that Kim and the Lama took on their quest to find the river of the arrow. One passage in particular in chapter 3 was very striking. It described a certain road in India known as the Grand Trunk Road, which served as a crucial vein to transport goods and people. I was so impressed by the description, in fact, that I went online to look for a picture of the road during the time that Kipling was in India. It matched it exactly. Let me show you a picture of the road and read the passage to show you what I mean. They met a troop of long-haired, strong-scented Sansis, with baskets of lizards and other unclean food on their backs, their lean dogs sniffing at their heels. These people kept their own side of the road, moving at a quick, furtive jog trot, and all other castes gave them ample room, for the Sansis is deep pollution. Behind them, walking wide and stiffly across the strong shadows, the memory of his leg irons still on him, strode one newly released from jail, his full stomach and shiny skin to prove that the government fed its prisoners better than most honest men could feed themselves. Kim knew that walk well, and made broad jest of it as they passed. Then Anakali, a wild-eyed, wild-haired Sikh devotee in the blue-checked cloths of his faith, with polished steel quotas glistening on the cone of his tall blue turban, stalked past, returning from a visit to one of the independent Sikh states, where he had been singing the ancient glories of the Khalsa to college-trained princelings in top boots and white cord breeches. Kim was careful not to irritate that man, for the Akali's temper is short and his arm quick. Here and there they were met or were overtaken by the gaily dressed crowds of whole villages turning out to some local fair. The women, with their babes on their hips, walking behind men, the older boys prancing on sticks of sugar cane, dragging rude brass models of locomotives, such as they sell for a halfpenny, or flashing the sun into the eyes of their betters from cheap toy mirrors. One could see at a glance what each had brought, and if there were any doubt, it needed only to watch the wives comparing brown arm against brown arm, the newly purchased dull glass bracelets that come from the northwest. These merrymakers stepped slowly, calling one another, and stopping to haggle with the sweetmeat sellers, or to make a prayer before one of the wayside shrines, sometimes Hindu, sometimes Musalman, which the low caste of both creeds share with beautiful impartiality. A solid line of blue rising and falling like the back of a caterpillar in haste would swing up through the quivering dust and trot past to a chorus of quick cackling. That was a gang of changers, the women who have taken all the embankments of all the northern railways under their charge, a flat-footed, big-bosomed, strong-limbed, blue-petticoated clan of earth, hurrying north on news of a job and wasting no time by the road. They belong to the caste whose men do not count, and they walked with square elbows, swinging hips, and head on high, as suits women who carry weights. A little late, a marriage procession would strike into the Grand Trunk, with music and shoutings, and a smell of marigold and jasmine, stronger even than the reek of the dust. One could see the bride's litter, a blur of red and tinsel, staggering through the maze, while the bridegroom's bewreathed pony turned aside to snatch a mouthful from the passing fodder carts. Then Kim would join the Kentish fire of good wishes and bad jokes, wishing the couple 100 sons and no daughters, as the saying is. Still more interesting and more to be shouted over it was when a strolling juggler with some half-trained monkeys, or a panting feeble bear, or a woman who tied goat's horns to her feet, and with these danced on a slack rope, set the horses to shying, and the women to shrill, long-drawn quavers of amazement. This is exactly the kind of literature that I love to read, the kind that pulls you into the story, and lets you see, smell, hear, taste, and touch everything without having to leave the comfort of your favorite chair. You can tell that this is Kipling's India, as seen through the eyes of Kim. And while it may not be 100% accurate, or politically correct for that matter, it does offer the reader a view of what it was like to live in colonial India. It was a country that contained an enormous assortment of people, cultures, religions, food, and what else have you. It was one of the great crossroads of the world, and the perfect setting for the story of a young boy and his llama in search of something greater than themselves. Thanks for watching. As always, if you like what you see, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned as we look at an overview of the novel. Peace.